It is still Saturday. I wanted to update on my writing progress. I had a little bit of a meltdown earlier. I think a lot of it came from overwhelm, but after crying it out and talking it out with my husband, I feel much better, and I took some downtime to read and reset, and now I have a really good sketch for how I want this next part in my book to go. And a lot of things are pulling together again. It is about 8 o'clock p.m. So I'm gonna try to get down a few more words, maybe a paragraph. The inspiration is here, so I want to try to make the most of it. And I'm hoping tomorrow I'll be able to really roll off of the setup I have tonight, and also maybe have some more downtime to process my story and finesse some more details.
It is 9:30 and I am at 30,884 words.
It's time for a late night snack of blueberry scone and leftover coffee.
It is 10:20 and I'm at 31,058 words.
Good morning. It is Sunday, July 21st. I am on day 30 of my 90-day novel writing challenge. I had a surge of renewal last night. I fully took advantage of that, and now I feel I'm in a really good launch off place for this next part of my story. My CEs are done, at least the main part of it is. I got to catch up on some rest. I read some. My sinuses are feeling much better. Things are looking up again. Last week was a really rough patch, but I am so proud of sticking it through. I was close, very, very close to burnout territory, but I think what allowed me to continue was in recognizing that my struggles in writing had nothing to do with the writing itself, but with the state of being I was in due to other influencing factors. And I think this is the key to detached writing. In the past, I think I let external factors and forces affect me way more than it should have, in that I would take it so far to say, man, like, I am a poor writer, or like, I'm going nowhere as a writer. And that's not true. Now I've learned to see myself in difficult patches with more contextual understanding and separation from myself as a writer. So when I was struggling last week to get the words out, I recognized it as, okay, it's not my writing, it's not that I can't tell a story, it's that I have all these other things going on, and as a person, I'm tired. And that said, after a little while, I'm sure it'll come back. The inspiration will come back again. And by inspiration, I mean flow and the want and joy to write, because I was dragging last week. I am still so surprised at myself for making it this far. I don't think I've ever written like this in my entire life. I think what I used to do is I would get to these really tough stretches and say, okay, I'm gonna take a break. And then the break would discourage me further from continuing with the story. I would end up just scrapping the whole project, or being like, okay, well, I'll come back to it way later when I'm ready, or when I feel like coming back to it. And that hasn't worked out well for me. I think breaks are vital to the creative process, but I also do think that if you're someone like me who struggles to finish a project, I think it can be extremely beneficial to learn how to cope and go further in your story than you've ever allowed yourself to. But there is a fine line between pushing and stretching versus burning out, and I think it's in having reasonable outcomes that you're working toward that can safeguard you from burnout, but also allow you to achieve more for yourself in writing. Next time I do a challenge like this, which I plan on doing, I'm going to set different parameters, different daily parameters. Instead of 1,000 words a day, I think I'm going to allow myself in those very difficult days to write for at least 4 hours. And this writing for 4 hours can be staring at the page, taking some notes, sketching out more of the story, because all of that is part of the labor of writing. Some days are heavy logistical days in writing, and that's okay. Anyways, I am proud of myself for making it this far. I am very excited and curious to see what happens in the next 2/3 and then the final third of this challenge. I feel that I have grown so much as a writer in doing this, and that's really exciting. I'm gonna do some cards and then read from The Hobbit and drink my coffee.
I just love these cards so much.
It is such a good feeling when Sybil is walked. She had a nice long walk today. Laundry is going, vacuuming is done. I got a little home workout in, I'm showered, I made myself a nice homemade brunch, all by 11:30 a.m. And technically I have my 1,000 word count done for the day, but I am hoping to work on some more writing later in the day after some more indulgent reading. I'm sharing this because this is such a turnaround from last week. It's when all those little things are done and settled. It's such a good feeling. And I'm feeling like I'm getting off to the right start with my next segment in my novel. It's 2:30 p.m. I just got up from a meditation turned nap, and I'm gonna get into my writing.
It's 3:30 and I am at 31,376 words.
I think I'm gonna call it a day. I'm at a really great stopping place, and I'm ahead of schedule for tomorrow. So I'm very excited about that. And now I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my Sunday in freedom.